Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Namaste to all. Namaste, Nirdhan admin. So today we have someone new, but many of us
Namaste.
actually know who
Sri
he
Ram,
is.
Jai
But
Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
yes, so let's leave it at that. And just for further information, so today we are gonna read one of the best classics as far as Indian Dharma is concerned, Hindu Dharma is concerned. So this is a book, Hindu Dharma. The title itself is very clear, and it's a great collection of couple of lectures, or let's say discourses, by Sri Chandrasekharendra Saraswati Mahaswamigal, or as he's famously known as Maha Periyava, of the great Kanchi Kamakoti Peetham down south at Kanchipuram. So he's one of the greatest Jivan Muktas who has ever lived on this planet. And he lived a very long life, saw many things, especially many of the struggles, both with the British and with some of the state governments in his state, Tamil Nadu. So, with all of the experiences and his own karuna, he gave us this amazing set of discourses today, which we will be enjoying from this book, which is published by Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan. And so let's get started. Shall we, admin?
Yes. Let's start.
Yeah. So, Hindu Dharma, Chapter 1, Dharma alone protects. The people and the neem are the royal children of Mother Nature's kingdom of trees. As the new year approaches, they shed their leaves, sprout tender green shoots, again not long after. It is all the work of Mother Nature. The custom of marrying the people to the neem and of installing the idols of Vinayaka and Nagaraja under them goes back to the dim past. After the winter months, these trees will be bare, and the Vinayaka and Nagaraja will remain exposed to the sun. This is the time when we may sit under the open sky and bask in the sun, because it is now neither too warm nor too cold. When it rains or when the sun beats down harshly on us, we need to shield ourselves with an umbrella. And when it is bitterly cold, we cannot sit in the open and gaze at the sky. But now, when the leaves fall and the warmth of the sun is comforting, it is believed that with Shivaratri, the cold season bids you goodbye with the chant Shiva Shiva. We may sit in the open by day or at night to gaze upon the sky, to proclaim the beneficial nature of this season, as it were, when the people and the neem are shorn of their leaves. Mother Nature worships the gods under the trees, Vinayaka and Nagaraja, with the rays of the gentle sun. Nagaraja may also be called Subramanya. So, for the audience, Subramanya is famously known to us in North as Kartikeya Swami, the elder son of Divya Dampati, Maha Parvati, and Bhagavan Mahadev. Indeed, to the Telugu speaking people, the name Subbarayudu denotes both Subramanya and the snake. The Tamil speaking people worship snakes on Shashti, a custom that has existed from time immemorial. Mother Nature's concern for Vigneshwara and Subramanya, the children of Parvati and Parameshwara, is but an expression of her love for all of us, who too are but the offspring of the same primordial couple. This is an amazing thing. So, for context, Mahaperiyava over here, when he mentions that we two are offsprings of the same primordial couple, he is actually referring to a very old line of Kavi Kulaguru Kalidasa in one of his works. I'm forgetting, so I will not be naming the specific work. So in that, he says in Mangalacharana, maybe Periyava may refer to it later on, so I will not be repeating it, but in that Mangalacharana itself, he is referring to this concept. So he is referring to that very old lines of Kalidasa in these lines. But as the sun gets warmer with the advance of spring, Mother Nature protects these deities from the heat. How? The trees now bourgeon and form a green umbrella over Vinayaka and Nagaraja. The shedding of leaves, the bourgeoning again, all this is a part of the natural process and according to the immutable law of the universe, which has been in force from the very beginning of time. There is a law governing the behavior of everything in this universe. All must submit to it for the world to function properly. Otherwise, things will go awry and end up in chaos. It is the will of the Lord that all his creation, all his creatures should live in peace. That is why he has ordained a dharma, a law for each one of them. It is compliance with this dharma that ensures all-round harmony. While Ishvara protects his children from the rain and sun, he also provides them when needed with the warmth of the gentle sun. His love for his children is expressed in the schema ordered by him for the functioning of nature, and the law he has laid down for trees is a part of it. To be worthy of Ishvara's love, we must possess certain qualities, certain virtues. If there is a law that applies to trees, there must be one that applies to us also. We shall deserve the Lord's love and compassion only by living in accordance with this law and by working for the well-being of all mankind. What is called dharma is this law, the law governing the conduct of man. Ishvara has endowed man with intelligence, but it is by using this very intelligence that human beings keep violating their dharma. A very important point. Admin, would you want to say something on this issue regarding how humans keep violating their dharma by using their intelligence, which is supposedly a gift from Ishvara to humankind?
Not now. You continue. I will say on it later.
Fine enough. If it is asked why they do so, all we can say in answer is that it is but the sport of the Lord. Man goes seeking this and that, believing that they will make him happy. And all the while, he keeps violating his dharma. But he will discover sooner or later that it is dharma alone that gives him happiness in the end. There is something that somehow turns people all over the world towards dharma. It is this something that inspires human beings everywhere to go beyond their material needs and do things that appear strange. How? One man reads the Bible, cross in hand, another smears ashes all over his body, and a third man wears the Vaishnava mark. From generation to generation, mankind has been practicing such customs, even without deriving any perceptible material benefit. What is the reason for this? Man first earned the means for his daily upkeep, but he soon discovered that meeting the needs of the present would not be enough. So he tried to earn more and save for his needs also. The question, however, arose as to what precisely constituted his future. As he reflected on it, it became clear that his future on this earth would be endless, that he would not live 1,000 years or 10,000. So he concerned himself with earning enough to see him through his life, and at the same time leaving enough for his children. What happened to a man after his death was the question that worried him next. The great men who emerged from time to time in various climes came to believe that the entity called man did not cease to exist even after his body perished. The truth dawned on them that the money and property acquired for the upkeep of a man's body served no purpose after his passing. As a next step, they formed a view of what a human being must do in this life to ensure for himself a happy state in afterlife. Religious leaders in different countries taught different ways to achieve this. The cross, the namaz, the sacred ashes, the sacred earth came to be adopted in this manner by people belonging to different religious persuasions. You must look upon the world as belonging to the Lord, and it is your duty to so conduct yourself as to conform yourself to this belief. This constitutes the dharma of humanity. Acts dictated solely by selfish interests will push one into unrighteousness. A man must learn to be less and less selfish in his thoughts and actions. He must always remember the Lord and must ever be conscious that he is the master of this entire world. This view is the basis on which all religions have evolved. No religion teaches us to live according to our whims and fancies. No religion asks us to acquire wealth and property for our personal needs alone. If a man believes that he alone is important, that he is all, he will live only for himself. That is why all religions speak of an entity called God and teach man to efface his ego or I feeling. Child, they tell him, you are nothing before that power, the author of this universe. It is he, that power, who has endowed you with intelligence. Your intelligence, your intellect must guide you on the path of dharma, righteousness. For this purpose, you must look up to this power for support. The great importance attached to bhakti or devotion in all religions is founded on this belief, the need for divine support for virtuous conduct. Ordinarily, it is not easy to develop faith in or devotion to God expressed in abstract terms. For the common people, devotion must take the form of practical steps. That is how ritual originated. Sandhya Vandana, the namaz, and other forms of prayers are examples of such ritual. The religious teach people their duties, how they must conduct themselves to God in the very midst of their worldly life. Love everyone, live a life of sacrifice, serve mankind. Such are the teachings of the various religions. If a man lives according to these tenets, it is believed that his soul will reach God after it departs from his body. Those who subscribe to Advaita or non-dualism declare that the soul will become one with the Godhead. According to another system of belief, after reaching the Lord, the soul will serve him and ever remain happy as the recipient of his compassion. There is no need to quarrel over the nature of the final state. By following one path or another, we attain the Lord, and that will be the end of all our sorrows, all our frustrations, and all our failures in this world. There will now be nothing but bliss, full and everlasting. No more than this do we need to know for the present.
Yes. So, as we can see, Periyava is very interestingly putting it that what is dharma, and before dharma, he's and making us understand that what is maya and moha. The intelligence question you asked about, that if God has given us intelligence, then when we use our intelligence, then why we do adharma acharan? Why don't we do dharma acharan? So I think the answer lies in that intelligence works by seeing the consumption of maya and moha. Maya and moha affects it. So if we only use our intelligence, then maya and moha will play their games, I guess, and make us fall in a pit. But if we keep dharma acharana, then this maya and moha, we can keep them in check. What do you think of it?
I think it's a very good point. In fact, I believe that intelligence at the end of the day is just tool for us to attain something. After all, we
Yes.
are only craving for happiness, right? So in that
Hmm.
pursuit, we will try to gain some materials or some sort of resources so that we can get some happiness or pleasure out of it. And in that,
Yes.
I guess we will use our one of our faculties called intelligence. But in doing
Yes.
so, uh, some may use their intelligence to get those resources by any sort of means necessary. And if there is
Yes.
no compulsion of dharma, then they will have
Yes.
no sense of proportion or even control for themselves, that okay,
Yes.
I must not go through this way to get the happiness or pleasure. I must go through
Yes.
this way, or
Hmm.
should I say the beneficial way in which things are uh, according to dharma and not
Hmm.
according to adharma. And I guess
Yes.
this is what he was trying to convey to us, right? What do you think?
Yes. Yes. And actual peace, or actual what pleasure we call, so the dharma play matlab, by acting dharma, by keeping the act of dharma, or doing dharma acharana, the pleasure we can get is that is the real pleasure and peace. Matlab, if we get pleasure by adharma acharana, uh, then that pleasure will not stay for much longer time, and will keep and will bring us bad moments and bad things to our lives. In महाभारता वेद व्यास जी says, मैं दोनों हाथ ऊपर उठाकर मैं उच्च स्वर से कह रहा हूँ और मेरी कोई सुनता नहीं, धर्म से अर्थ और काम दोनों प्राप्त होते हैं तो भी लोग इसका आचरण क्यों नहीं करते. He says this in Mahabharata. So as we can see, by doing dharmacharana, it's not that we will all we will live a life of a sannyasin and will not get any chance to enjoy anything of this materialistic pleasure, as we call it. But if by doing dharmacharana we can get materialistic pleasure, and also our mm, and also our, what do you say?
I would say what you are trying to say, if I can interpret it, so you may correct me on
Yeah.
this. So I
Yeah.
feel like you are trying to say that by following dharma, you can get artha and kama, and that will be sustainable. That won't be
Yes.
like how it usually happens with those who do adharma, that suddenly they get too much of pleasure and too many facilities for themselves, but at the end of the
Yes.
day they they then get the repercussions of it, and that's just too huge to even comprehend for them, and it's very problematic for them at that time, and they start to cry over that why did I not follow the right path? If I would have done that, so and that would have been much more sustainable. And
Yes, and
I guess
by this dharma and kama, we can get we can attain moksha, and
yes,
the ultimate goal of our
yes, yes,
life, basically. So that is what should we bring to our lives. Okay, now let's continue.
yeah, yeah, sure. But though I had a question. Oh, sorry, maybe we can address that later on. Okay, fine. Let's continue. If the Paramatman is to draw us into him unto himself, we must without fail perform our duties to him as well as to the world. It is these duties that constitute what is called dharma. Again, it is dharma that serves us when we dwell in our body and when we cease to dwell in it. It serves us in life and afterlife. When we are in this world, we must do that which would take us to a desirable state after we depart from it. We take an insurance policy so that our relatives will be able to take care of themselves when we are gone. But is it not far more important to ensure that we will be happy in our afterlife? Dharma is afterlife insurance. But in this life too, it is dharma that gives us peace and happiness. There need be no doubt or confusion about the dharma we ought to follow. We are all steeped in the dharma that our great men have pursued from generation to generation. This is again a line for the audience as a tidbit. So this is again a line which he is referring to from Mahabharata. Mahajano ye nagatasya panthaha. So dharma is the path which great people of our societies have followed from generation to generation, as Periyava says over there. They have inwardly realized eternal beatitude, and we know for certain that they lived without any care, unlike people in our generation who are always discontented, and are embroiled in agitations and demonstrations of all kinds. All we need to do is to follow the dharma that they practice. If we try to create a new dharma for ourselves, it might mean trouble, and all the time we would be torn by doubts as to whether it would bring us good or whether it would give rise to evil. It is best for us to follow the dharma practiced by the great men of the past, the dharma of our forefathers. Man is subject to all kinds of hardships and misfortunes. To remind ourselves of this, we get the bitter flowers of the neem on New Year's Day, that is, on the very first day of the year. We accept the bitterness of life. During the Pongal ceremony, which is celebrated almost towards the close of the year, we have sugarcane to chew. If we have only sweetness in the beginning, we may have to experience bitterness towards the end. We must not have any aversion for the bitter, but welcome it as the medicine administered by Mother Nature or by Dharma. If we do so, in due course, we will learn to regard any experience, even if it were unpleasant, as a sweet one. Great indeed were the misfortunes suffered by Sri Rama during his exile in the forest. To a son going on a long journey, the mother gives food to take with him. Kaushalya does the same when her son leaves for the forest, but she does so after much thought, for she wants the food to last during all the 14 years of his exile. And what is that food? Kaushalya gives Rama the eternal sustenance of dharma. Raghava, she says to him, it is dharma alone that will protect you, and this dharma is what you yourself protect with courage and steadfastness. It is the escort of dharma that the mother provides her son sent out from his kingdom. Yam palayasi dharmam tam dhritaya cha niyamena cha savai raghava shardula dharmastam abhirakshatu. It was dharma that brought victory to Rama after all his struggle. If a man treads the path of dharma, he will win universal respect. If he slips into adharma, unrighteousness, even his brother will turn a foe. The Ramayana illustrates this truth. Sri Rama was regarded with respect by the Vanaras. What about Ravana? Even his brother Vibhishana forsakes him. Dharma and dharma alone is our protecting shield. How did Ravana with his 10 heads perish, and how did Sri Ramachandra rise with his head held high as Vijaya Raghava, victorious Raghava? It was all the doing of Dharma. One's religion is nothing but the Dharma practiced by one's forefathers. May all adhere to their Dharma with unwavering faith and courage and be rewarded with everlasting bliss. Here ends the first chapter.
Yes.
So
As you can see that Periyava Baba again brings that follow dharma, leave everything in the world, or in the world of Maya, everything and anything can disappoint you, but not dharma. If you follow dharma, it will always uphold you, no matter what is the situation, no matter what is the how great is the adversary you are facing, or you will face, or you are going to face. But dharma is always uphold you and bring you out of that adversary and to thrive your life.
Yeah, and also I think so. This was a question which I had. So it seems
Yes.
Maha Periyava ji is trying to analyze the origins of Dharma in that chapter when we were reading. So he's mentioning that in early life, people were confused as to what is the case with us living, and what shall be the fate of us after we die. So he says that great men of many countries, I believe, right? So in that chapter, he said that. So many great men came to the conclusion that no, we do have to face something, because we also have a life after we die in this body. So in that case, he says that there was this realization of religion which came. Also, he refers to the concept of dharma in that, so of righteousness, and then he mentions of other religions as well. So, what do you think of this point of Mahaperiyava? That is he trying to say that the dharma, the sense of dharma, is very much universal, and it's not like something very located into only a couple of nations alone. Like everyone has this notion of dharma, at least. Like I'm saying notion, not like correct dharma, but at least the notion people have.
Yes.
What do you think? Is he trying to say that?
Yes. The dharma have to be universal, otherwise the world will collapse by itself only, if the world does not follow dharma at all. Like we can say that we can see, or the famous clip where some kathavachak says that if the distinct that you can able to distinguish between your mother, sister, and your wife, that who is who, that is dharma. So as we can see, this is a very universal way of rational thinking, I guess, that she is my mother, she is my wife, she is my sister, that what behavior I have to do with my mother, my wife, or my sister. So that behavior that gets into our consciousness, that we need to do this behavior with this. I think that righteousness behavior that comes from ourselves, that is dharma, the universal dharma Mahaperiyava is talking about, the notion of dharma.
Good. It's a great point, actually. So the realization of boundaries, or the realization that
Yes.
every damn thing in the world, even like the people whom we relate with, they are not just some resources to get things out of them. So there are some things. So the mother, the wife, the father, they are all different people, and we have different connections with them, and there are different kinds of behaviors that we must enact against them, and not just have complete similar kind of behavior against across all the set that we are encountering, right? So you're saying that this
Yes.
realization itself is universal, very much so,
Well,
not just
that is
confined to
what
some space.
exactly. That is what makes us free from the animalistic behaviors. Otherwise, what will be the difference between our higher consciousness of human or an animal?
True, true, true. Wow, what a beautiful line. True, that animalistic
Yes,
urges that we might have, that is totally curtailed by this realization of dharma alone. Without that,
yes,
there is nothing that can stop us from becoming animals, and which we see
yes.
also, right, when he says that
Mm.
humans tend to use their intelligence to do adharma, which means they tend to go to
Mm.
their animalistic urges back again every time.
Yes, yes, exactly. Beautifully put.
Uh, also something I wanted to discuss with you. So you have good points on these.
Yes.
So when he says that, so he mentions this right in the previous chapter about uh, dharma as something ingrained within nature itself. So he's saying the life cycles that we have in nature. When he says right that
Hmm.
neem is the first plant that grows out every new year. So maybe he's talking about our traditional new year, I guess. So
Traditionally, the
every
Pongal, it is Pongal. No. So Pongal is a traditional
yeah.
New Year. Also,
Yes, yes,
he's saying that we chew that neem tree's leaves to get the bitterness of
yes,
the
yes.
life. That yes,
Yeah, that's a good point, right? So the bitterness of life is also to be expected and also accepted. In fact, he's trying
yes,
to say, right, that this
yes.
is like a medicine for us, and later
Hmm.
on
Hmm.
it will be sweet for us. So he says
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
sugarcane is the last crop that we get to harvest during Pongal and enjoy at that time.
Yes.
The
Hmm.
maybe North
Yes.
India, good and all. What do we say? Magh, Boishakh, and all of these festivals are celebrated at that time. So yeah, I think these points are very negligible. Like these are neglected at most of the times. These are not really made
Yes. Yes.
commonly enough.
Yes.
So what do you think? Should
So
we continue with the
this
second chapter?
also yes.
Oh, no,
First of
no.
all, so this also shows that how important our rituals are. They are not some ABCD things to do. They have a much deeper meaning into them, and that carries on to our life, to our civilization. So that's why you need to follow them, make them. Also, he says things about like rituals, the Sandhya Vandanam. That,
Yes.
so why we need to do Sandhya Vandanam? Like why, let's say, why do I need to do? I can just be as I like. I can wake up in 2 and do the breakfast or lunch in 3. So why do we need to do the
Mhm.
Sandhavandanam? But it keeps us in the check of the Maya and Moha, and it keeps us in a line of what we say, the dharma, that we are doing some dharma acharana. It elevates our consciousness that what is right, what is wrong. It comes from that. No? So same thing to the rituals. The why you need to do the rituals. The rituals teaches
True,
us so
true,
many
true.
things.
This is such a great
Okay,
point, actually. So
yes, yes,
yeah. So should we continue with the second chapter?
yes, yes. Let's move on to the Papa and Punya.
Fine, fine. Chapter 2, Papa and Punya. Nobody wants to be known as a sinner, but all the same we keep transgressing the boundaries of morality and disobey the divine law. We wish to enjoy the fruits of virtue without being morally good and without doing anything meritorious. Arjuna says to Bhagavan Krishna, no man wants to commit sin. Even so, Krishna, he does evil again and again. What is it that drives him so? The Lord replies, it is desire. Yes, it is desire, Arjuna. We try to gain the object of our desire with no thought of right or wrong, dharma or adharma. Is fire put out by ghee poured into it? No, it rises higher and higher. Likewise, when we gratify one desire, another, much worse, crops up. Are we to take it then that it would be better if our desires were not satisfied? No. Unfulfilled desire causes anger. So too, failure to obtain the objects we hanker after. Like a rubber ball thrown against the wall, such an unsatisfied desire comes back to us in the form of anger and goads us into committing sin. Krishna speaks of such anger as being next only to desire as an evil. Only by banishing desire from our hearts may we remain free from sin. How is it done? We cannot but be performing our works. Even when we are physically inactive, our mind remains active. All our mental and bodily activity revolves around our desires, and these desires thrust us deeper and deeper into sin. Is it then possible to remain without doing any work? Human nature being what it is, the answer is no. It is not difficult to quell one's thinking, nor is it easy to remain without doing anything, says Mahaswamigal. We may stop doing work with the body, but how do we keep the mind quiet? The mind is never still. Apart from being until itself, it incites the body to action. We are unable either to efface our desires or to cease from all actions. Does it then mean that liberation is beyond us? Is there no way out of the problem? Yes, there is. It is not necessary that we should altogether stop our actions in our present immature predicament. But instead of working for our selfish ends, we ought to be engaged in such work as would bring benefits to the world as well as to our inward life. The more we are involved in such work, the less we will be drawn by desire. This will to some extent keep us away from sin and at the same time enable us to do more meritorious work. We must learn the habit of doing work without any selfish motives. Work done without any desire for the fruit thereof is punya or virtuous action. We sin in 4 different ways. With our body, we do evil. With our tongue, we speak untruth. With our mind, we think evil. And with our money, we do so much that is wicked. We must learn to turn these very 4 means of evils into instruments of virtue. We must serve others with our body and circumambulate the Lord and prostrate ourselves before Him. In this way, we can earn merit. How do we use our tongues to add our stock of virtue? By muttering, by repeating the names of the Lord. You will perhaps excuse yourself saying, all our time is spent in earning our livelihood. How can we think of God or repeat His names? A householder has a family to maintain, but is he all the time working for it? How much time does he waste in gossip, in amusements, in speaking ill of others, in reading the papers? Can't he spare a few moments to remember the Lord? He need not set apart a particular hour of the day for his japa. He may think of God even on the bus or the train or as he goes to his office or any other place. Not a paisa is he going to take with him finally after his lifelong pursuit of money. The Lord's name, Bhagwan Nama, is the only current coin in the other world. The mind is the abode of Ishvara, but we make a rubbish can of it. We must cleanse it, install the Lord in it, and be at peace with ourselves. We must devote at least 5 minutes every day to meditation and resolve to do so even if the world crashes around us. There is nothing else that will give us a helping hand when the world cosmos is dissolved. It is by helping the poor and by spreading the glory of the Lord that we earn merit. Papa, sinful action, is two-pronged in its evil power. The first incites us to wrongdoing now. The second goads us into doing evil tomorrow. For instance, if you take snuff now, you suffer now. But tomorrow also you will have the same yearning to take the same. This is what is called the vasana that comes of habit. An effort must be made not only to reduce such vasana, but also cultivate the vasana of virtue by doing good deeds. It is bad vasana that drags us again and again into wrongdoing. Unfortunately, we do not seem to harbor any fear on that score. People like us, indeed, even those known to have sinned much, have become devotees of the Lord and obtained light and wisdom. How is this Ishvara qualified to be called great if he is not compassionate and does not protect sinners also? It is because of sinners like us that he has come to have the title of Patita Pavana, he who sanctifies or lifts up the fallen with his grace. It is we who have brought him such a distinction. Come to me, your only refuge. I shall free you from all sins. Have no fear. Sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami masuchaha. This is a reference to Bhagavad Gita 1866. The assurance that Sri Krishna gives to free us from sin is absolute. So let us learn to be courageous. To tie up an object, you wind a string round it again and again. If it is to be untied, you will have to do the unwinding in a similar manner. To eradicate the vasana or sinning, you must develop the vasana of doing good to an equal degree. In between, there ought to be neither haste nor anger. With haste and anger, the thread you keep unwinding will get tangled again and again. Ishvara will come to our help if we have patience, if we have faith in him, and if we are rooted in Dharma. The goal of all religions is to wean away man, his mind, his speech, and his body from sensual pleasure and lead him towards the Lord. Great men have appeared from time to time and established their religions with the goal of releasing people from attachment to their senses. For it is our senses that impel us to sin. Transitory is the joy derived from sinful action, from sensual pleasure. Bliss is union with the Paramatman. Such is the teaching of all religion, and their goal is to free man from worldly existence by leading him towards the Lord. Here ends the second chapter.
Yeah, again, that is very interesting. Yes, go on.
Yeah, so it seems that at first we get to know from this chapter about Karma Yoga. So he gets into that question, right? That what is the cause for Papa and Punya? So he gives example from Gita itself that Krishna Bhagavan has said that it is because of desire that people tend to do Papa.
And it is those five Jnanendriyas only that decides that we are doing virtuous actions, that is Punya or Papa.
Yes, absolutely. And that desire and the endeavor that we take for achieving those desires, and if there is a failure, then the anger, and due to anger there is haste, and due to haste there is then the urgency of doing papa or adharma to again attain those desires. This this progression is a very conceptual thing, I guess, and I guess in some other day we might have to go deep into this as well, because I think this is a great psychological analysis as well, right?
Exactly. Yes. After anger, the haste that comes, that it breaks or it ends our reasoning. That is that our viveka, that our which decides that which actions we will do. That is punya or papa. That what is wrong or what is right. That the decision that we take, it is by our viveka, and by anger it gets completely wiped out. So naturally, we tend to do papa karma.
So true, so true, so true. And then we see that in the chapter later on, he also then goes into explaining what is papa and how does this keep occurring. So he talks about vasana, right? In that
Yes, yes,
whole explanation, that idea that
yes,
okay, we might be doing some evil right now, fine enough, but we will get some
yes,
results out of it, which is pleasure, and
yes,
let's do it more again tomorrow as well.
yes. That is a
This
small
this
gratification that gets fixated us to that papa karma, and all of this gets played by Maya.
so true, so true, so true. And then he goes into explaining the solution of it, right? So he says
Yes,
that we cannot avoid actions. Also, we cannot stop ourselves
yes,
from having desires. So what we must do is
yes,
to change our motives, he says, right?
yes,
What do you think of
yes.
this changing of motives? Like, how does this work? Like changing of motives when doing work?
When doing work, how does this work? By changing our motive. So I think
Yeah, he
by
says, right,
motive you
that
mean that yes, that to
selfish,
the motive that
selfish
is
motives. He said.
uh, 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 let the work we are doing, it is for us only. Let's say it is for our kalyana only. That it will bless our
Mhm.
family, or it will bless me, or it will benefit me or my family by any way. But he's saying that do not keep any expectations put on it, that do not keep put any
Yeah.
expectations on it, that oh, I will get this fruit, I have to get this fruit. Correct. So
Brilliant
that
point. Mm.
expectation you put on it, if the outcome is different, then that expectations that we put on it and the results we didn't get, it turns us anger, turns our anger, and then again that cycle continues.
Brilliant reasoning. Oh, amazing, amazing. Right, right, right. So true, so true. Really, it's so true that because of these motives, we have those psychological issues when we do not achieve as far as our expectations are concerned. So if we do not have those, like if we divert our selfish motives towards Ishvara, and into
Yes,
doing things
yes,
like, okay, what I'm going to do is gonna benefit everyone or maximum
yes.
people,
Also,
and also
if
is
we
gonna
yes, yes. Also, if we see this, let's say, also if we see this like a superficial way, that is that we are when we divert it or Ishvara, that hey Ma Kamakshi, please look into this, please get this correct, please get this correct. So what we're doing is that we are manifesting a positive thing. That is, there is no chance of like we are not putting any thoughts on its failure. Like what will I do, or what will you do if it fails? So we are not thinking about it. We are just thinking that it will happen if Ma Kamakshi bless us. If it will definitely happen. So somehow a positive thing also gets manifests. Like if you see this it in this way, like a superficial way. So this also works.
oh, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Absolutely, absolutely. This is the case. Absolutely. That when
Yes.
we divert our total concentration on Ma Kamakshi, on Mahadeva Parameshwara, we
Yes.
actually leave those so-called expectations, and also the fruits are left to Bhagavan, and we are then free of any tension about whether or not we shall get the fruits of the action that we are doing. But in that, we will develop a very good psychological, let's say, condition in our own mind that will
Yes.
not lead
Yes.
us to doing papam again and again.
Yes.
Okay, so
Papam,
this
and
is the.
then there also, and if we put Punna Viswasha to our Ishwara, let's say
Hmm.
we have Punna Viswasha to our Ishwara, then what happens if the the outcome we were wanting, that that I will get this fruit, if this work of mine gets executed good. Then if it
Mhm.
doesn't, if the outcomes doesn't satisfies us, then what we think is that my Swari is there, so she thinks, or he or she thinks that the outcome would have benefited me for a small time, like it would have given me a small gratification, but it would not have been good for me in the long term. So this is also a
Mm.
thought we put our Ishwara. If you have Purna Viswasha to our Ishwara, that the thing that happened is for our good only, is for my good only, that will bring us good to
Oh,
me in the long term.
so true, so true, so true. Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes,
We are then consoled by the fact that, okay, Ishvara has maybe decided that this is not good for us. So,
yes,
uh, thank God that we depended on Ma and we are saved from it.
yes.
Uh,
So if you
or
yes,
let's
so
just say,
by this way, that our consciousness also doesn't get corrupted. Like we don't get angry, or
hmm,
and if we do not get angry, then that cycle doesn't start, and we keep our vivek, and we have our vivek in our place, doing its work, what is wrong and what is right, and then we will again start the next work to do, and again put our
true, true.
vishwasha on the Iswara. So we
Yeah,
keep on
and
doing
I
punya things instead of that that
yes,
anti-clockwise circle. Get fixated on this and
true.
falling in a pit of yes,
Yeah, or falling in the cycle of papam. Yes. So I think even uh, that whole. Oh, okay. So Nandita has come to us. Nice. Um, Namaste, Nandita.
okay. So he is recommending a book. If anyone wants to understand the basics, I would recommend your Dharma and Mind book by Sattwadhani Dr. R. Ganesh. So people, you can look up to his recommendation. He's quite good on this.
Yeah, please, audience, we will recommend. This is a great recommendation from Nandish Dada. Please try to get this book, purchase this book for your own development
Yes,
itself.
yes. Okay, so
And
let's move
I
on to
think,
the next chapter. Yes, yes. Please go on, go
okay.
on.
Yeah, so I was just saying that at last he says, right, that even if
Yes,
we
yes,
commit papam in the whole journey, like even if we are like it's a gradual change, so we might do papam in between as well. But
yes,
even in that, because we are then totally dependent on Ishvara, and
yes,
Ishvara,
yes,
because
yes.
he is compassionate, we will be saved
Yeah,
even in that, and
yeah, yeah.
he
He
gives us
does.
the
Yes,
verse,
exactly.
right?
Yes, yes. So he says that if you continue on doing Papa thing, and then you have the regret on the that your heart gets heavy, that oh, what am I doing? What am I committing? So it's not like then Ishwar will not accept you, because he's again he says that Ishwar is Patita Pavana, uh,
Hmm, hmm,
and also Ishwar is Akaran Karunalai. Matlab, he doesn't need any reason
hmm.
to bless you. He doesn't need any reason to accept you. That even if you have committed endless crimes, that oh, now what will happen? Ishwar will accept me or not? But he will accept you. He or she will accept you, because he or she is Akaran Karunalai. Matlab, he doesn't need any reason to love you. He loves you already. That's why you got that consciousness, that why am I committing what I'm doing, what are these actions, what is this bad actions I'm going on committing.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. And for this, he even mentions the famous Bhagavad Gita verse, which in Ramanuja Sampradaya is called as Charama Shloka. That famous complete verse, I guess, would be Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Braja Aham Tvam Sarvapapebhyo Mokshayishyami Mashuchaha. That I
Yes,
come to me, I am the refuge, I shall free you. Mokshayishyami Mashuchaha. I will free you from all the papa that you have. So
yes,
have no fear. That
yes,
that promise that Bhagavan gives, it's so direct to us that don't fear.
yes,
You will not have any problems. Just come into my refuge, uh, be a devotee of mine, and concentrate upon me and depend on me. I shall do I shall get rid of your sins. Like, this is such a great
Yes, yes,
declaration of Bhagavan.
yes,
But even
yes,
so, some people still get away from it. I don't know how. Like, if
yes,
someone, if the Ishvara himself is giving you such declaration and such guarantees, why would you leave
yes.
Ishvara and go
Hmm,
elsewhere?
hmm,
What do you think?
hmm. Yes, exactly. He's again that dharma thing that if you uphold dharma, then dharma will not make you fall or get you fall to any extent. And then Iswara is there. That if you are following dharma, then Iswara is also there. And if you are not following dharma, but if you then want to follow dharma, then also Iswara is there.
Mm, truly, truly.
Yes,
Just the last point, that that whole the goal of all religions part. I guess we may have uh, some things different in our mind, but we will leave it. Respecting Sri Mahaperiyava, we will not comment on it. What do you think, Rudra?
yes,
What do you
yes,
think?
yes.
Should we be commenting on this
Yes.
anymore?
No, no, no. Let's
No.
move on to the next chapter, the purpose of religion.
Yes. Let's get
So
blessings
for the
of Rudra
audience,
Bhagavan.
this will be, yes. So for the audience, this will be our last chapter. If you have any questions, you can ask in the comment section, or if you are a member of our channel, then you can join. I have posted the link for members only on the members only post. So check it out, and you can join us. So let's continue the chapter now.
Yes. Chapter 3. The purpose of religion. Religion is the means of realizing dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. These four are called purusharthas. In Tamil, dharma is called aram, artha is called purul, and kama and moksha are called inbam and vidu, respectively. Artha occurs in the term purusharthas, but it is itself one of the purusharthas. What a man wants for himself in his life, the aims of man's life are the purushartha. What does a man want to have? He wants to live happily without lacking for anything. There are two types of happiness. The first is ephemeral, and the second is everlasting and not subject to diminution. Kama, or in Ban, is, I think the translation has been a bit different over here. It's inbam. Kama or inbam is ephemeral happiness and denotes worldly pleasure, worldly desires. Moksha or vidu is everlasting happiness, not transient pleasure. It is because people are ignorant about such happiness, how elevated and enduring it is, that they hanker after the trivial and momentary joys of kama. Our true quest must be for the fourth artha, that is vidu or moksha. The majority of people today yearn for the third artha, that is kama. When you eat, you are happy. When you are appointed a judge of the High Court, you feel elated. You are delighted when presented with a welcome address by some institution. Aren't you? Such types of happiness are not enduring. The means by which such happiness is earned is porul. Porul may be corn, money, and the house. It is this porul that is the way to happiness. But the pleasure gained from material possessions is momentary, and you keep constantly hungering for more. Moksha is the state of supreme bliss, and there is no quest beyond it. We keep going from place to place and suffer hardships of all kinds. Our destination is our home. A prisoner goes to his widow or his home after he is released. But the word vidu also means release or liberation. Since we are now imprisoned in our body, we commit the grave mistakes of believing that we are the body. The body is in fact our goal. The body is in fact our goal. Our real home is the bliss called moksha. We must find release from the goal, that is our body, and dwell in our true home. God has sentenced us to goal. That is, He has imprisoned us in our body for our sins. If we practice virtue, He will condone our sins and release us from the prison of our body before the expiry of the sentence. We must desist from committing sinful acts so that our term of imprisonment is not extended, and endeavor to free ourselves and arrive in our true home. Our true home, that is, the Lord. This home is bliss that passeth understanding, bliss that is not bound by limitations of time, space, and matter. Lastly, I speak of the fourth Purushartha, Dharma. Dharma denotes beneficent action, good or virtuous deeds. The word has come to mean giving charity. Give me dharmam, do dharmam, mother, cries the beggar. We speak of dana dharma as the portmanteau word. The commandments relating to charity are called arakattalai in Tamil. Looked at in this way, giving away our artha or porul will be seen to be dharma. But how do we, in the first place, acquire the goods to be given away in charity? The charity practiced in our former birth by giving away our artha, it is that brings us rewards in this birth. The very purpose of owning material good is the practice of dharma. Just as material possessions are a means of pleasure, so is dharma a means of material possessions. It is not charity alone that yields rewards in the form of material goods. If we practice dharma without expecting any reward in the belief that Ishvara gives us what he wills, and in a spirit of dedication, the impurities tainting our being will be removed and we will obtain the bliss that is exalted. The pursuit of dharma that brings in its wake material rewards will itself become the means of attaining the parampurul. Thus we see that dharma, while being an instrument for making material gain and through it of pleasure, becomes the means of liberation, also if it is practiced unselfishly. Through it we acquire material goods and are helped to keep up the practice of dharma. This means that artha itself becomes a basis of dharma. It is kama or desire alone that neither fulfills itself nor becomes an instrument of fulfilling some other purpose. It is like water poured on burning sands. Worse, it is an instrument that destroys everything dharmic thoughts, material possessions, liberation itself. All the same, it is difficult to start with, to be without any desire altogether. Religion serves to rein in desire little by little and take a man step by step from petty ephemeral pleasure to the ultimate bliss. First, we are taught the meaning and implications of dharma and how to practice it. Then we are instructed in the right manner in which material goods are to be acquired so as to practice this dharma. And thirdly, we are taught the proper manner in which desires may be satisfied. It is a process of gaining maturity and wisdom to forsake petty pleasure for the ultimate bliss of moksha. Moksha is release from all attachments. It is a state in which the self remains ever in untrammeled freedom and blessedness. The chief purpose of religion is to teach us how this supreme state may be attained. We know for certain that ordinary people do not achieve eternal happiness. The purpose of any religion is to lead them towards such happiness. Everlasting blessedness is obtained only by forsaking the quest for petty pleasures. The dictates of dharma help us to abandon the pursuit of sensual enjoyments and endeavor for eternal bliss. They are also essential to create a social order that has the same high purpose, the liberation of all. Religion, with its goal of liberation, lays down the tenets of dharma. That is why the great understand the great understand the word dharma itself to mean religion. Here ends our today's last chapter, the third chapter. Admin, uh, any
Yes.
short comments you have on this?
To any sort of comment, like he again says that moksha is our ultimate goal, or the ultimate attainment we need to attain. Now, to attain moksha, we need dharma. And as he says on the last line, that religion, with its goal of liberation, lays down the tenets of dharma. So, why religion is important, and hence dharma, as
True,
he
true,
says
true.
earlier, that this body, the body that which we have, this body is not eternal or immortal body. This body will die, decay, but our soul is immortal. So if we can see that he says that we are in an imprisonment. How? So our soul is on our body it has given the goal. It has given the goal to liberate the soul. The soul has to liberate himself using this body, human body. And how does it? By doing virtuous actions, that is punya kam, and surrender to Iswara.
Absolutely. And also something very important that he notes over here, that artha itself becomes basis for dharma, but that artha has
Yes,
to be obtained through dharmic ways. It cannot be obtained willy-nilly through
yes. Like
any ways that
we need artha to follow dharma. The same way dharma guides artha and kama, that it doesn't get
yes.
overflow.
Hmm. Absolutely, absolutely. And over here, he also says that karma by itself is a very destructive entity. So it also, according to Periyava, karma by itself ends dharma and artha, and the thoughts of even
Yes,
liberation as well, because it keeps you in constant flux, I guess, of pleasure and non-pleasure, pleasure and non-pleasure, and you are always based into these thoughts only, and not
yes,
on the actual goals of life.
yes.
That's a great
So
point which he raises.
yes, so as we can see in many of our shastras, it has been said that kama, kama does not only means about sexual pleasure or like that. Uh, it
Yeah,
has many things on it, but if we primarily see the sexual pleasure only, then as we can see that it has been said many times that that sexual pleasure is the only materialistic thing, matlab, the highest materialistic thing you can attain through this materialistic body, or in this world, this immortal world. The highest materialistic thing you can gain is that, and the strongest, and one of the strongest one of all, that is this kama. So that is why when karma gets to our consciousness, then everything, it makes us blind. It makes us blind like the Kalya Nag.
truly, 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 truly. It totally blinds us. It totally, as you said before, right, that it totally destroys this whole notion of viveka itself in our mind.
Yes,
And then he, at last, as we see, audience, at last he explains that religion itself is understood to be dharma. At the end, he's also, of course, he's talking about people in India over here. So dharma is understood as religion, or vice versa over here, and it is because of that dharma is also seen as a way to establish a good social order, in fact, for everyone to achieve this liberation at the end of the life, at the
yes,
end of their lives.
yes,
And it's a slow process, according to him, that religion takes off, slowly taking you towards moksha. It doesn't throw you into moksha directly. Okay, audience, today we end our uh, discussion on
before
this amazing book. Yeah.
yes, so before we end, so I want to say that this is the book Hindu Dharma, the Universal Way of Life, by Puja Shri Chandrasekharendra Saraswati Swamiji. That is Periyava Baba, published by Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan. You can go into the website or into the Amazon also. You can purchase it from there. We will give the link in the comment section. You can find it in the pinned comment. And also, I would suggest you people to look into this book suggested by one of our members, that is Nandis. There is Your Dharma and Mine book by Shattadhwani, Dr. R. Ganesh. So people definitely check it out. And also let us know in the comments that if you should continue this series and continue this book reading session by Periyava Baba. He has many interesting facts or insights in this book. His actual thing that we should implement on a life to attain moksha, and the ultimate attainment we should. Okay, so Rishi, do you have to say anything?
Yeah, so just wanted to share this. Let's see. Admin, could you check if this has come?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is on the screen.
So for the audience, we will end with this, of course. At the beginning, Periyava told us about Ishvara and Ma Kamakshi as our parents, and we are children of them. So this is the reference that he took from Kalidasa. Vagartha viva sampraktau Vagartha pratipattaye Jagatah Pitarau Vande Parvati Parameshwarau. I worship Parvati and Parameshwara, the parents of the world, who are inseparable, just like a word and its sense, in order to guide me in acquiring the right understanding of words and their meanings. This was a great book, and a great discussion also happened. Thank you, admin, for inviting me.
Yes.
And for great insights of yours.
Yes.
Thank you, audience, as
well. Yes, so we shall end it now. So, Jai Shiv Shakti, Vande Mataram, Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram.